Time now for our Sheriff's Sit Down, brought to you by our Community Credit Union. We got two great guests in studio, Kevin Hanson, Jail Chief, and Mason County Sheriff Casey Salisbury. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Morning.
Good to see you here. We'll talk a couple different issues here. First things first, the smokes is increasing around the community. A lot of folks are seeing it out there, and we've had conversations in the past about some task forces that have been up and coming, springing out to do some investigations. Is there any updated information you guys would like to share on those, or how are the
Jeff,
progress
not really.
going?
No new information. I know that last week I flew over the county with citizen took me up because there was so much smoke that people were reporting additional fires.
Sure.
And so I got a call from a couple of fire chiefs and says, can you get access to an airplane? And we went up, and it's just, there wasn't additional fires. It was the Hama fire.
Same fire.
Just
It was just so much
smoky.
smoky that people were concerned that there was something new starting
And
in
the
the
wind
neighborhood.
keeps changing, so it's blowing it,
Yeah.
everywhere.
Okay. Well, make sure you keep us up to date if anything new on that breaks. We need to get information out to the public. With Kevin here, conversation turns to the jail, and we've got some visual aids. We have a great person that's going to hold up our visual aids for us. on
It's
the.
like I used to teach
It's
school.
story
reading-
time.
Read a story in the morning when I was teaching elementary school.
You can
Gotta show
see
the
some of it.
pictures.
We'll put some of this as well. What
So,
are we talking
I'll let
about
Chief-
here today?
Well, we're talking about, we continue to have these issues with people not understanding the jail population.
Sure.
And how you have to put people in different cells for different reasons, and that leaves some beds unoccupied. And it just seems like it's so difficult. So we're going to try another route, and we'll also have
Math? Is there
Well,
some math involved
no,
here?
no,
not
Anything?
really.
Okay,
Oh,
more
good.
visual
It's
aids.
a little
Visual
early for
aids.
that.
So, this is Chief Hanson's. I'm going to be the holder today.
Sure.
And it reminds me of my third grade days, but I'm going to work out great, and then you'll have the PowerPoint on it, which was way out of my time then. So.
We'll put it on the website if you wish to share that.
So,
So what do
Chief-
we got here?
So,
us about it.
Sheriff's Imaginary Jail has 10 beds, and we have 5 inmates.
Okay.
And we keep hearing, well, how can you be full if you only have 5? That's like half, right?
Sure.
So there we have it. We have a 10-bed jail with 5 people. Here's the people who are coming to jail over the weekend. We have DUI guy,
Sure.
which is here. We have a guy arrested for no valid operator's license,
Uh-huh.
just an average everyday guy. We have a guy that's been in jail that hit a corrections deputy, and he's a bad guy.
Okay.
He's acting out. We have a female.
Uh-huh.
And then we have a guy that does drugs,
Uh-huh.
who's in jail for drugs, and we have a guy for murder and rape, and then we have a guy that's a potential victim. He could be.
Yeah, let's put them all in the same room. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Jiminy
So,
Christmas.
so these are the people that are coming to jail. And you notice that there's not 10.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think there's only 7.
Okay.
7 here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is our jail. So we have one room that has 4 beds in it, basically. You can put 4 people in this room here. And then this is the we might get along area. This one over here is the we all get along.
Sure.
This one's we might get along. And there's only 4 areas to put a we might get along people. And then we have I don't get along, or I'm a victim.
I
And
don't
there's
play
only,
well with others.
Exactly. There's only
Exactly.
two places there, right?
Okay.
All right. Next, Sheriff.
You're doing a great job,
You
Casey.
are,
He's doing a
Casey.
great
Look
job.
at you. Well,
That was not
except for
counting,
that
right?
one.
Oh, you're good.
There we go.
All right. So now we're
So here's our jail. Here's how those people all get divvied up.
Oh,
So we have the DUI guy and the no valid operator's license guys. Those guys are guys that get along.
They're probably
just,
fine.
just like you and
Yeah.
I,
Yeah, we
Right.
just kinda-
make a stupid mistake, we go to jail for a weekend.
Okay.
Then we have the guy with the drugs.
And you may not know what drugs
Well,
or how
more
long
than
they
likely we
come
do,
down
but
off of them.
Yeah,
how
he's
they
just
react.
he was in possession of drugs. He got arrested over the weekend. And then these are the empty beds still.
Okay.
And then we have a guy that hit the corrections deputy, which has to be isolated because he doesn't get along well with others.
Sure.
And then we have the potential victim, and he could be somebody that has, just afraid of other people, or, he's asked to be isolated by himself because he's afraid. So here's the other people. What do we do with the female and the guy for rape and murder?
Sure, because you don't want them.
So we can't
Together.
really put the female in there with the guys,
Right.
That'd be bad. We don't need no jail babies, right, Sheriff?
no.
And then we can't put the females in with we might get along guy.
Yeah.
That'd
you
be a
just
bad
don't know.
scenario. There's no room over here. There's only 2 beds there, right? So and the murder and rape guy, where are you gonna put him?
Gotta
we don't have
have,
room
and
for
they
him.
got to be all by themselves, I'd imagine.
Yeah. So now we have our 10-bed jail, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 people of the 10, or 5 rooms of those 10 occupied.
Yeah.
So the jail's full. Right here, the jail's full, and we still have 5 empty beds.
Who comes up with the rules on this? Is it the State
Classifications?
Department of Corrections, the federal, or
It's industry standards. Every jail is different. Every jail has a different amount of rooms
Sure.
for minimum security or medium security or maximum security. They're operational. The way that they run the jails are different. But there's a National Institute of Corrections has a designation called functional capacity. And basically, it's the capacity that the jail would take, taking this into consideration, how many people you can house there and still not cut programs and still provide essential basic services to the inmates.
Right.
So our jail has 93 beds, but our functional capacity is only 80. So at 80, that leaves 13 beds available for us to move people around.
sure, to get
To take
those
care of-
to get those kind of configurations
Take care of
to
this
work,
problem.
right?
Yeah, exactly. So
Gosh, you might have to be moving people every day, you know.
Yes.
we do.
Does that
Every day.
happen?
We do. Every day
Yeah.
we move.
You know,
Wow.
and the other part that's not, I guess we'll continue that for next week, is that what happens is what people don't understand, including some people in our government. What happens if we do put somebody in there because people feel like you just need to put people in jail?
Right.
Well, the next is a continuation of the video of the slideshow with the attorneys that show up and sue you, and the litigation that the county gets involved in if we're not properly housing people, and our name, specifically mine, shows up on those litigation papers as a law enforcement, chief law enforcement officer, and I am not willing. On somebody else's behalf, because they don't want to outsource people, I am not willing to open that jail up and violate those things.
Right.
Knowingly violate anything, and so we're going to follow
Well,
what the
right
industry.
away they're going to want to sue. You know, oh, he put me in there.
Well, we're
with,
going to follow
you
what the
know.
industry standards are, and we're going to follow what the law says. And I'm sorry if that doesn't meet other people's standards and expectations of just stacking people in there.
If you're moving people every day, what does that do for the inmate's mindset as well? I mean, you want to have some certain level of not comfort necessarily, but I can imagine if you say, all right, get up, you're moving again, get up, you're moving again, that would start to build a chip on the shoulder maybe.
It does, and it can, yeah. Technically or typically, we move people out to go to work.
Sure.
Like the litter crew. If they behave in jail and they're minimum security, we'll move them from the main part of the jail where those 5 beds were available, and we'll move them out to the other unit so that they can go outside to work. Or put them to work in the kitchen or whatever,
Right.
So.
Remembering also, we started what we think is probably the first program anywhere with our facilities dogs.
Sure.
Coming in, and that's part of the reason that we have that program in place, the private citizen. We're really hoping to have the individual that handles those dogs on here along with the dog.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Bring
that'd
them
be
in
great.
so you could meet
Yeah.
them, and I don't know how we'd get them to sit on the chair, but they might. And
We've had dogs in here before.
For sure.
we'd love to do that. I want to add one other thing over the weekend, and I don't know if you came out that I was involved with. We had a guest speaker this year called, his name is Dr. Pope, and he runs a program called the Pope's Kids Center. And it's for kids with special needs. And this group, a couple local judges and law enforcement and some other citizens have ridden this thing. And that was set up. It's been over 30 years. We rode that again this weekend to raise money for Dr. Pope's Children's Foundation out of it's actually out of Lewis County, but it's very, very close to us. They serve kids all over the country, and great fundraiser. And we were mentioning the flyers and stuff. Our ride this year included going all the way over to Eastern Washington, all the way around the state, and we went right through OMAC. And I'll tell you, the people over there are really suffering. It's not even close here to how much smoke there is. You think Spokane looks bad, and then you get up into OMAC, and when we stayed in a hotel, you literally couldn't almost see the motorcycles from the hotel windows.
Sure,
Oh,
sure.
my.
It was really bad up there as the smoke would move in and out, and everything we had, even inside the hotels, it smelled like you had a campfire going on in your room.
Wow.
What kind of face protection did you have? Do you wear any masks or anything like that? Do you see people out
I just
there?
wear a standard full face helmet, no breathing apparatus. It was just.
A bandana,
I mean,
maybe.
But people out there walking about?
There are some people that were wearing those, but I mean, you'd have to talk to a health professional.
Yeah.
But some people are wearing these things. I'm going to tell you, they think they're helping themselves, but if the particulate, there's a certain type of mask you really need to have to separate out those particulates, and they're a little bit different than just
Sure.
your average dust mask. But there were a lot of people wearing those.
I saw some pictures of Vancouver, British Columbia, like a parking lot, and all the lights are on in the parking lot, like it's dark, and it's 2 PM
Yeah.
because of all this.
Well, people with breathing difficulties anyway, I mean, incredibly challenged
Yeah.
for especially for people with particular breathing disabilities. But anyway, I was thinking of those people on that side of the state. What a beautiful, I'd never been all the way up into the North Okanagan County, all the way up, way up north, but absolutely beautiful place. But as soon as you get up into the high parts of you look down, you couldn't even see the bottom of the valleys or anything. It was just, there was so much smoke. You could only see what was in front of you. It was like driving through the fog, and what was just to the right of you on the road or just a little bit off the roadway.
Jeez, wow. Let's see, Mason County Sheriff Casey Salisbury, Kevin Hanson here, jail chief, until Tuesdays at 10. Come to the front of the jail, take tours, and get involved with that and learn a little bit more about the numbers and the size.
We actually did learn a lot. We took the tours.
Yeah, that's
yes, thank you.
And we saw which rooms were for, different people, and how they did have to move them.
Considering it's been the same size since 86.
Yeah.
And it was full in 86.
Wow.
We had a few years, the county's had a few years to move forward on that, I would think.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens in the future. But again,
Thanks so much.
Get involved with that 10 o'clock on Tuesdays in front of the jail.